This is my second video, third actually, but first one was an introduction. All right, so today we're going to talk about soulmates and what that really means, past lives, stuff like that. All right. First off, we have more than one soulmate. It's very rare that we would be with the same person lifetime after lifetime. It's not always a realistic connotation that that's the way it's going to work. And then the other misnomer is if you meet one of your soulmates that you'll end up together. That's not necessarily true. You could. And another thing that's interesting about all this is that time is just an illusion, and all time exists simultaneously in the now. In our past lives, we actually are living them right now, all of them simultaneously. So these soulmates are people that we are involved with in other dimensions right now. It's interesting. Anyway, so my personal experience, I've met four of them basically in my life, four different ones. And the first one, we're actually we're like together in ancient Egypt under a couple of different dynasties. Interesting, but that never worked out. She actually married somebody else, for a while. But we were close for a long time. I mean, we were friends for a long time. I don't exactly remember what happened. I think, well, all right, let me fast forward a little bit. All right, so I met this other one, and she wasn't around long enough to discover much about her. I could imagine she probably was. She ended up dying. Let's put it that way. I knew her. We were together about 4 or 5 months, and she ended up dead. I'm not going to get into the story on that one, but didn't have enough time to figure out much of, what our past lives were. But kind of sad. But I mean, it is what it is. Then the third one, we did end up getting married, and 25 years later, it wasn't. It was quite a rocky journey. Let's put it that way. I don't get into all the logistics on it, but that's the one I spent most of my life with. And it's been, I don't know what now, it's been, 2 or 3 years, but there was other extenuating circumstances that got in our way, mostly addictions, like drugs, alcohol, gambling, stuff like that. More on her part, but I'm certainly not exempt to that either. But just with other circumstances that I think without those addictions we would still be together. But that's kind of the gist of it. I don't have a lot of time to go into all the logistics on this. But then the other one I think I came in contact with maybe a year or so ago. I don't know what's going to happen with that one. I'm not exactly sure. It's kind of like I'm torn between. Well, my ex is I think she's trying to get me back. The thing with my ex is I left her. It wasn't like she left me, but I left out of necessity because I was sober and she wasn't, and if I would have stayed, I wouldn't be, and that would be a real disaster because it was just getting bad. Let's put it that way. Don't have a lot of. So anyway, this one now, I'm not really sure. I'm not going to get into all the logistics on that. I mean, I'm sure that we've been together in other lifetimes, but I don't know what's going to become of it, shall we say. So I'm kind of torn between, all this, and I'm not really sure what's going to happen with all this. So basically, we we have multiple, who knows, there may be another one too, somewhere. I don't really know, it's hard to say on that one. It's sort of like we live in an infinite amount of dimensions, and if you want to like get a concept of some higher power, that higher power is able to look over all those different dimensions and see us in every area of what we're doing. And all we have is the limited view of this dimension that we're in right now. So to think that I'm going to understand all this is like ridiculous. It's enough just to like, dominate this dimension that I'm in right now, let alone, try to like figure out what's going on in the other ones, that the parallel ones that I'm simultaneously in right now. So to say that, and then there's the question I ask myself sometimes, like with this one, I've thought about this a lot too lately. Maybe the decision that I make right now on this is, if I would be like two separate realities, because with the multiple universe theory, we go into a different dimension every moment that we move forward in life. So it's like maybe the decision that I make on this is going to determine the path of the reality that I take with this. Maybe one timeline would be going, back with my ex. The other one would be maybe moving forward with this other person, or maybe some other direction that I decide to take that's entirely different. So in a lot of ways, our reality is determined by the choices we make today, in a lot of ways. And some of it is predetermined in some ways too. So there's a lot of different aspects to this. But basically, the gist of this video is the fact that, we have multiple soulmates that we could, come across in a lifetime. And if it doesn't work out with one, it'll work out with the next one. So if you like met a soulmate, let's say, and it just like turns out to be a disaster, tell the universe you want to meet the other one, because there's going to be more than one. Try to, pray to the universe to line you up with the one that it will work out with, in this lifetime. Anyways, I was going on 8 minutes. I got to end this video, but you get the general idea on this. I'm going to do more specialized videos on this subject as we go along. Thank you.